when we were first starting out with wufshanti, it was hard to get our programs into schools because the adults, the principals, some of the school leaders thought that these mindful programs were like a religion, yoga, meditation, that they weren't secular. Do you believe that these curriculums are secular, that they are for everybody and anyone?
Absolutely, 100%. So what's interesting for me as a mindfulness instructor is I came at it through a university setting, and then I brought it into a hospital setting. And so for me, I have never been in any other type of setting that would be ever considered religious in any way, shape, or form. I think that when people talk about its religious aspect, it's maybe, well, I can't speak to other people, but what I would say is there's a lot of values and qualities called mindful qualities that are part and parcel of MBSR, and I've expanded in MBSR-T. But these are qualities that if you were really to look at any religion are across the board. So like if you want to consider gratitude religious, or you want to consider compassion or kindness religious, you can. However, it is 110% not religious. It's about paying attention to what's going on in your mind, in your body, in this moment. I don't know what that has to do with religion. So just to say, when I also would like to say something to you is when I first started doing this in 2004, I didn't know anyone else doing this. I'm definitely someone who was one of the first people bringing this to teens. And the thing is it was even harder then because people were like, what's the stuff you're trying to teach to people? And because MBSR, which my program comes from, is in so many hospitals already and throughout the world, many, many countries, it has a lot of research behind it, evidence behind it to show its efficacy in not only mental health, but physical and just general well-being and stress reduction. And so it's like, if you can look at the science behind it, that's going to help too. And if people want to connect it to their own personal beliefs that have some antecedent to religion, that's their preference, or belief, that's fine. But absolutely has nothing to do with that. It's helping people to be kind. It's helping people to, think positive thoughts towards themselves and replace negative thoughts. It's also teaching a whole host of skills of like positive coping skills. I think I provided you my list for people who watch this of 130 coping skills. And it's like, it's like learning how to tolerate and deal with difficult situations. I remember when I was in 6th grade, I learned how to balance a checkbook in a class I had. And I always heard, the teacher was Mrs. Strife. And I've never actually shared this live. And so it was one of the most useful classes for me. We got to have our fake bank accounts and our fake checking, and we write checks and learn how to do that. It was very useful to me. And I wish that someone would have taught me mindfulness in just the same way. They're equal skills. It's like how better to tolerate and learn how to manage and deal with and assess our emotions and the thoughts. When are we given that checkbook for how to write our thoughts, how to process our thoughts, how to balance our thoughts? Never put those two things together ever, but I'm glad I did here.